Welcome back, everyone, to the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge World Cup 2019. We've had Group A be done and dusted with for today as they get to leave the venue, or more importantly, they should be sticking around to watch what's going to be happening in Group B. Jason Kaplan, Paper Thin Valdez, looking as chipper as ever. How you doing, man?
I'm very good.
We know how he's doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. That was actually pretty fun. I mean, we got to see some awesome plays in there. We got to see a lot of, good solo plays from Syed and that kind of thing. We got to see 6N absolutely wreck a lobby beyond belief. So now I'm excited to move over to the international teams because we have got a lot of good teams coming in here.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the teams here for me was that, it's relatively new here in Saudi Arabia. First time they're doing a big event like this, so guys had to show up and show their stuff because a lot of the teams we actually didn't really know that well. So they have shown a lot. We have learned a lot, some new names from all these different teams. But now we're moving over to the international teams, and there's only 16. So these are going to be more names that you are used to seeing a lot in PUBG Mobile. The guys that you have seen on stage that are not going to be nervous, and they know exactly what they want to do to take the win here tonight.
By the way, Paper, I think we did figure out there is a smoke screen somewhere over there because you just got hit by a wave of smoke coming through in that one. We're wondering, where does this keep coming from? But in the meantime, let's take a look, though, more importantly at Group B and see what teams will be participating over the course of these 3 days. And like we said, there are so many teams in there. It's hard to pick one, but I think we have to start talking about Top Esports, the runner-up for the PMCO Global Finals for fall.
Yeah, of course. I mean, now, second place, nothing to sneeze at all. I mean, of course, Bigatron put up that unreal performance there.
Do you sneeze at things as like a sign of disrespect? Like, how dare you?
How dare you get second place? Come on. No, really, an excellent team. Really excited to see how they perform. I mean, they got to be the favorites going into this. They absolutely have to be the favorites. So, really excited to see what they've got.
I mean, that's the most obvious team you see there for sure if you've been following the last couple of tournaments. But definitely a lot of other big names that we have seen, even RRQ Athena last year, picking up a bunch of wins. Cloud9, our only American representative here in the matchup. 16 teams, and we also have Elementrix, which has one of the best named players that we do have here, where we're actually allowed to say it on camera. Poople Man is coming on in for the team. And,
I feel like
to see what he's going to bring to the table.
I feel like our in-game observers are being told, do not spectate him so no one can talk about him. I mean, we do have a couple of rosters, though, to be fair, that have a couple of different, setups for the team. Cloud9 Zutes coming in instead of Perkasas. You have Top Esports as well, putting Love in, I believe it is, instead of Years. So a little bit of switch up in some rosters. But you know what? You don't need to hear more from us. Let's hear from the teams as well as their thoughts coming into this tournament.
感觉还是很新鲜的，因为毕竟是国际赛事，可以跟更多国外的选手进行一些技术上的交流。我觉得在国内来说，我们也算是一支强队了，所以要把我们的战术以及我们的东西打出来，展现给世界的所有人看。
Our team is Cloud9. Our team strengths are we play very smart and tactical, and we can't wait to play against all the other best teams in the world, and we know we're going to do well.
สวัสดีครับพวกเราทีม RQ Athena ครับคิดว่าทีมอื่นเขาน่าจะคิดว่าทีมเราเป็นทีมที่น่ากลัวระดับหนึ่งครับอยากฝากถึงผู้แข่งขันทุกคนด้วยนะครับก็อย่าประมาททีมพวกเราทีม RQ Athena นะครับ
私たちは優勝しに来ました ARW が強すぎて決勝に進出できなくてもがっかりしないでください
Khi team mình vào vòng chung kết thì mình cũng muốn nhắc nhở cho đối với những đối thủ khác 15 đối thủ còn lại là hãy cẩn thận khi gặp Box Gaming. Team Box Gaming thì đã có một sự chuẩn bị trước khi tham dự giải đấu này và team mình sẽ quyết tâm là để giành được những cái vị trí cao nhất ở tại giải đấu này.
EGC라는 약자는 이지 게임 치킨이라는 뜻을 가지고 있습니다. 많은 팀들이 강력하다고 선정을 했는데 솔직히 우리가 그냥 압도적으로 1등 할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Of course, kami berasa sangat happy mendapat peluang ini dan kami akan buat yang terbaik untuk tim Malaysia. I want to say good luck to others team.
Быть первым победителем – это очень важно для всех. Победитель PUBG определяется последним выжившим. Я буду играть умно, чтобы стать этим последним выжившим.
Well, there you go. You heard from quite a few of the teams there talking about their confidence coming into this, and I have to say that glass is overflowing with confidence for so many of these teams. RRQ, Athena, the first team I kind of wanted to talk about as you see Top Esports on your screen now. They placed 7th at the PMCO Global Finals for Fall. They were a team who were massively disappointed with their individual performance, but they seem to still feel like they're the scariest team out there.
Well, I think historically speaking, they've had quite a bit of success, as has a lot of teams in SEA and especially Thailand. I mean, early on in the history of PUBG Mobile Esports, it was Thailand that seemed to be one of the strongest regions, and they're looking to kind of reclaim that throne. I know I got some of my Thai caster buddies watching. Give a shout out to them. They're the best. Miss you guys, and we'll see if Athena can pick it up this time around.
Honestly, I feel like the confidence from RRQ at least is to be, granted, like they are such a good team overall, even though their recent results aren't necessarily showing that exactly. It's I feel like this side of the bracket is much more competitive, if I have to be perfectly honest, especially with all these amazing international teams at the top of the totem pole here. As we're also taking a look here at Team Unique.
Yeah, Old Boy, unfortunately, we got to talk to them before the PMCO Global Finals, and they were feeling confident. They feel like they had 2 big fraggers. Old Boy was one of the top fraggers when it came to the spring split. They just weren't able to hit that stride, though, unfortunately. They had some really rough games. They weren't able to really play, I guess, the way they wanted to, and hopefully over the course of today, they've been able to take, what they've learned just a few weeks back in Malaysia and can incorporate into their own gameplay here.
Yeah, kind of the undisputed best team in Europe, so looking to kind of set the stage for the European teams here, see if they can get something going for them. And I'm really excited to see. I mean, half the teams in this lobby were just competing in the fall split finals, in the grand finals, and some of them were in the prelims. So this is a stacked lobby.
And considering you have Top Esports be the number 2 team from PMCO, they were a team that started very slow. Initial game, they had a good start. I think they finished 2nd in their very first match of the Global Finals, but then they disappeared off the map over the course of day 1 and even day 2. In day 3, they started to really fight back. Them and RRQ Athena, I think, a couple of the teams that can really grind out some matches and really accumulate a ton of points over the course of a couple of matches. But there's only 4 for these teams we have to keep in mind. We could see some massive upsets. If you start slow in a tournament, typically, you might not make it into that final day.
Yeah, definitely. Like we've been saying, you want to come in hot, and we saw a couple teams do that early on in our first 2 games, and the second 2 games are getting ready.
All right, well, speaking of the second 2 games, we have our first one kicking off with Group B. It's the International Group, and we're heading to Erangel once again. Valdez and Paper Thin, take it away, boys.
All right, here we go. Group B time. Only 2 more games left to go. Once again, 1 more Erangel, and then a Vikendi coming at you. So this playing path, a little less forgiving than the first one we saw today. This one's going to be more northerly based. We're starting out over Lipovka, heading over Razak, ended up over Georgiopol. So once again, if you want to go south, and again, Primorsk, going to be a little bit more tricky to get to. Otherwise, a lot of the northern part of the map very much in play, of course. So keep an eye on what teams want to do here, as this one is bound to be a very, very tough fought map.
Yeah, it doesn't really get more competitive than this. We have brought all the national teams out here from many different regions coming in here, 16 of the best. So very excited. We talked a lot about the favorites, RRQ, Athena Sports, very obvious choices. But how about some underdogs that you think might have a chance? I mean, Box Gaming was coming into the interview, and they were just right from the get-go calling people out and saying, hey, you better be careful of Box Gaming. If you run into us, you are going to die. Do you think they have any chance in this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, SEA teams are generally pretty good. Oh, we're going to find ourselves a run over. That is going to be, for sure, our first kill. Hijira of EVOS, our Indonesia team, of course, trying to see if they can replicate the success of Bigatron from the fall split finals. And he is going to find himself a run-over kill to start this one off.
Great start here as the circle way over towards the west. This time around, you'll notice that it's similar to the one that we had in game one of the entire day, but it's even more west and has more water on top of it and less of the military base. So, again, we saw the MENA teams coming in here, the Middle Eastern, North African teams coming in, getting pretty aggressive on Erangel. I'm curious to see what these international teams will do and how they'll mix it up coming into this kind of circle.
Yes, you can see Box, that team you were just talking about, Valdez, they are splitting Yasnaya with ETG. This is the Korean team who got 15th at the PMCO Fall Split Finals. And there, of course, Korea is a region when you say esports, you think Korea immediately. That's the first country you think of, the country where it all started and where you and I actually reside, Valdez. So
yep.
we of course might have a little bit of
bias much,
yes, thank you, Jason. So looking to see what they've got in the tank. Another team I'm looking for from that area is, of course, ARW, the all rejection team, which I find that name to be quite fascinating.
All rejection, and then you would think, okay, what is the W? Or maybe it's going to be ARG.
Yeah.
No, it's AR Gaming Wisteria.
Wisteria.
And then it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Not what I was expecting.
It's a mouthful, to be sure. It's hard to say, but that whole region, of course, between them, Japan, Korea, and China, there's a big rivalry there, right? That's something we should be talking about now with all these international teams. We don't have two teams from the same country here. Everybody is from a different country, so there's a lot of international pride at stake. Of course, the prize pool as well. So I kind of want to see if maybe some of those, Eastern Asia teams kind of duke things out.
That is going to be a big question here, as beside going all the way over to this east side, the bridge looking to head south as we do see. It looks like he's all alone. He's extremely low on health, and it didn't look like he had any meds or anything like that. So a bit of a rough start there.
Yeah, it looks like he might have taken some damage trying to get across that bridge, and it looked like a member of AR was going to try to get out there to maybe try to put some more damage into him, but they weren't able to quite catch up. So should be safe and sound, able to regroup with his team over at the military base. The other three are already down there. It's going to be able to bring that UAS in. A little extra vehicle help as well, because, of course, you want to have those late game, build those vehicle barricades, get yourself some cover. That's the so important part of some of that mid to late game situations when you don't necessarily get a circle going your way and you need cover to build for yourself.
Absolutely, as we are taking a look here at, actually a little bit hard for me to see. No rage, okay, NR, in the lowercase. And just riding on up this hill here, looking to make it into the east side of the circle as we speak.
Yeah, they lost that member early on. They were the ones that had the unfortunate member get caught out there. So it is going to be an uphill battle for them, of course, with only 3 out of the 4. You always want to have all of them if you can, but sometimes things just don't go your way. You both try to go for a vehicle early on. Whoever gets them first has a really good chance of running the other person over, or they could try to get in the vehicle, but that's not a great idea as well, because the other person could just take off with you inside of it, keep your speed up, get somewhere to meet with the rest of your team who's already gotten guns, and then you're in trouble.
Got to be extremely careful about that. Just want to take a moment as we do have the map on the screen to see exactly where some of these teams we mentioned are heading. Top Esports right in the middle here. You guys can see their team number 1 in the blue. We had EVOS way out east, actually. And so they're going to be taking a little bit longer to get back into this one. We are taking a look here at Goskilla now, hailing from Kazakhstan, actually. So a lot of representation from around the world here. We'll see if they can do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of the underdogs here, for sure. Keeping our eyes on them, seeing if they can maybe pull off some upsets here today, find themselves into that final day when we kind of reset everything, get the two groups matched together, and see how they fare against one another. And Unique and Kitsune is just going to back up here, try and keep that UAS safe. You're trying to find a position with that UAS to keep it so enemies can't shoot out the tires. and basically make that vehicle worthless. Once those tires are gone, it becomes a very difficult vehicle to drive. It's also slower, so things become pretty tricky in that situation. And just going to loot up for now. The circle is starting to close in, so a lot of teams that are outside of the circle are making their rotations a lot. Nobody in Yasnaya decided to fight. That's pretty typical. Yasnaya, you could split that up into 2, sometimes even 3 in terms of fair loot between the teams. And they didn't opt to duke it out, which is, I think, pretty typical. Early on, you're trying to get into that late game scenario with everybody up if possible. Now, you know, the nice thing about military base, EGC, you have nobody there. The sucky thing about military base is if you try to cross the bridge, sometimes people will wait for you and blow you up as you go. So we'll see if they can make their way safely over to the main continent.
Yeah, seeing that as a Korean team, their name is Easy Game Chicken, as the EGC does shorten to there. As, you know, I feel like they're a team that's not going to go guns blazing into the center of the circle, whereas Top Esports could be a team that does do that. They're going to take their time. They're going to loot up one of the best places on the entire map and slowly make their way in and only take fights that are advantageous for them. So not really worried about their position just yet. We're taking a look here at Poo-Poo Man. Definitely one of the most unique names that we do have here.
You were just waiting for it.
Yeah.
He might not last too long. Zute's got a bit of an angle. Wasn't able to land any shots. Trying to come up and over the hill, see if he can catch a little bit of damage into Poo-Poo Man. But Poo-Poo Man is quick on the draw here. Going to get away it up and over that hill. Find himself a little bit of safety on the backside. With that buggy, you can kind of drive. The buggy's got a bit of friction on the tires, so you can drive pretty well off-road. And there you can see Box, who left Yasnaya. This time they're heading to the south of school, so they're going to be okay. Pretty safe transition along the side of this hill. There's quite a bit of cover to utilize, a lot of trees and other things, so you're pretty safe making this, coming through this way.
They have a couple of teams behind them, but that is just about it. And we all know that it's good to get into the circle and just look behind and try to gatekeep a little bit there. We did have another knock, as he does get taken out there. Lapis from ARW is going to be the first player dead from that Japanese squad.
All right. Well, that is going to be one down. Not the start they wanted. EVOS, another team definitely got to keep our eye on. Another big name in PUBG Mobile Esports. They are coming through, and there is your second circle. Just going to kind of center up more or less here on the top of Gatka. Not much going on in terms of this one. A few teams might have to leave from the south and a few from the southeast there as well. EX probably going to make their way in a bit. But overall, I don't expect to see too much going on inside of this circle. Maybe somebody on the southeast side might bump heads a little bit on the southwest part of Pachinki there. But right now, ooh, okay. So those two are kind of close, but this isn't necessarily, you know, anything that could pop off right away. I mean, Unique, they do have a bit of an angle down on top of this from the roof. They're already set up there. You can see members of TES Tops trying to get on top of the roof themselves, having a little bit of trouble making that one go. It's a bit of a tricky jump.
Yeah, you can't be right up against the wall. You have to try to jump prior to it. So you can see that is what he is setting up here. It's not very successful so far. I wonder how many times. There we go. Nicely done. As Love is going to give some love to that building and just hold the top there in the middle of Gatka. Great positioning for Top Esports.
Yep. Utilize the tops of those roofs. You got to be careful. You got to watch your backside. But if you know kind of what's going on behind you, you can get on top of those, get tons of information, put some shots in other teams. And it's a really, really smart thing to be doing, especially when you're dead center of the circle like Tops is. Looks like they're going to be opting to play that kind of position. A little bit of a car compound here set up by Team Queso. As, RRQ Athena might have been thinking something similar. They might come over this hill, run right into them. They turn just at the last second, take a little bit of damage. So this one is not going to be a battle. Let's see if Hijira can find some damage with that DP, but he looks like he's just a bit behind.
Yeah, just a little bit there. Nicely done, just protecting the compound, as now we did have Orange in a little bit of trouble. TQ, you'll notice that these teams are not scared to take shots. They know how good it is to pick up kills as we should mention again, 1 point per kill and 20 points for first place. So we actually did have a team earlier on today get 20 kills, or 22 kills even, and essentially eclipse the team that got first. So the kills are big, and all these teams so far are out here guns blazing.
Yeah, and at this point on this map, teams kind of know where the good spots are, right? Team Queso has taken a spot that is very valuable inside of this circle. It's pretty easy to defend. Again, you can see a lot of what's around you. So you're just going to shoot at stuff because people know you're there. People just kind of have an idea. Now, the reason RQ rolled up there was they were hoping they could be the first ones there. They weren't. At that point, the jig is up there for Team Queso, so you might as well just start putting shots into stuff.
Curious to see exactly where EGC goes, our Korean team. They're heading directly up from the south here on a straight path towards Gatka so far, but as you guys can see, some compounds and some hills in the way, so not going to get out of hand with how aggressive they are. Bear still pretty far back there.
Yeah, but again, the circle is going to be moving in just a second. Right now you can see it's pretty eastern heavy just because, of course, this circle is west, so most teams have to come in from the east, and you don't want to risk traversing some parts of this terrain, and oh my, now we're going back east. So this is pretty nice here for a couple of these teams. Like Top still in it, of course, and then a few others in the middle there as well, like the Kazakhstan team, Goskilla. They're right almost dead center, but there's, again, a lot of field in these circles.
Moves being made as well. It kind of looked like China and Korea were on a collision course there as Top Esports was coming from the west and Korea from the south. But we're taking a look here at Goskilla once again from Kazakhstan. Circle, so they're not going to be moving anytime soon.
Yep, Red Cannons putting some shots at Team Queso and C9 as well, putting some damage in there. So trying to see if they can punish Queso for making this rotation, but they are going to find the north end, what I like to call the chopsticks. There, at first, when I first looked at the map, I thought these might be airport runway strips.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're just like, drainage ditches. That's my story about that location.
It's good cover, right? I mean, they're going to set it up and even get cars in position to just cover their backs so they can sit in that little ditch there and control a pretty good spot here on the map.
And if you're really confident in your shooting abilities, you can fan out down the entire line of those chopsticks and cover a ton of ground, get some information, and it's pretty easy to defend because your head is never going to pop up unless you want it to. So it's a pretty safe way to cover a lot of ground and keep teams from rotating across you, or at least if they do, you kind of have a good idea of where they're going.
Taking another look here at No Rage, it looks like they have some eyes there on Team Box Gaming. And, well, Lewis coming on in here. He's going to drive north, so the other two allies just going to stick around here for now and not move too much. It looks like they want to get some kind of surround as the first grenade is going to come in and pick up a kill.
I wonder how much Box realizes they have No Rage completely blocked in here. No Rage is surrounded on all sides, and exactly why. They've got smokes coming up. They need to defend this position. Look at this, another knock already. Loki trying to come around the corner with the M16. See if he can finish off Helios. A little bit more damage, and now Box knows that this is real bad here for No Rage. A lot of damage coming through. The grenades are in there, and in fact, that is going to be No Rage down.
Taken out here as our first team eliminated, unfortunately, as they were from Germany. So pour one out there for your boys from Germany. But we'll take a look. I mean, you'll notice that even though we are here in a third circle, we haven't really had too many teams going out just yet. I mean, there's 59 guys still alive on the map.
Yeah, not too surprising. You might see a team go out early on, but this hard shift is going to make things a little more interesting. That eastern side of that circle is going to be dicey. It is very exposed. Those chopsticks that I was talking about on the southeastern part of the circle are going to be very valuable for a while. That compound that Top Esports has as well can be very powerful to try to control some of that situation if you can catch some of those teams in transition. Unique there is moving on up. They have the center position. They have Gatka, and that is definitely where you would like to be right now.
Good start for them as one of the members here from Elementrix is going to go down. Junior taken out here from the side by Entity Gaming from India. So getting on up there, Poopaman losing one of his allies so far.
Yeah, Entity got to be one of the favorites coming into this, 5th at the PMCO Fall Split Grand Final. So they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. TQ still trying to hold down the northern part of the Chopsticks, and now Box has moved up and over after dusting No Rage. They are coming in, and those grenades, they can funnel into this circle pretty nicely, and it does a bit of damage there to Marco and Axial. They aren't down, but they are weakened. So if you can get these grenades to roll in on right, you can start getting some knocks and potentially try to push up over that hill. Some counter grenades coming through, though, getting Box to back off, getting them to move their vehicles back, trying to keep them safe, trying to keep them out of grenade range.
Yeah, very curious to see how Box is going to attack that position, but once again, over to Gonzo here, who is going way up towards that northwest position. Doesn't look like he has too many friendlies with him. He's all alone up here, and he's getting shot. Not looking good for Gonzo.
Yeah, he's going to have to prone. He took a bit of damage, and he's trying to be the scout for his team, trying to find a way to get in on the western part of the circle, but he is going to find one knock there. It's going to be Zessie. Here comes a run over. Solke is down as well. Nicola pushing through here. He should be able to finish this off. No, he's getting backed off, taking a ton of damage. He gets knocked himself. From side, is a lot of teams fighting over here. EGC from the south putting in a bunch of damage. A nice attempt here by Goskilla, but it goes sideways because of the angle that EGC has.
Yeah, I like the idea at first, but you can't do that when there's this many teams left available. I mean, you're going to be shot from multiple angles. That's exactly what happened there. But I do like their ability to get back up on their feet. Not going to go down without a fight rezzing in the smoke.
Wow, this is really aggressive stuff here from Goskilla. I might have been tempted to just back off of this one, but a really nice job by them to get the smokes down, cover the angle so EGC can't see them, and push on through. At least get into the circle for now. They really need to bust into this compound that the Japanese team has above them. ARW is only 3 strong, and it is the better position. If they can get up and in there, they should be safe-ish for a little while, and you can see they're trying to push up. That is going to be one knock. Mateo does get the knock and the flush on the Nicola. So now 3 is more shots coming in once again from EGC. You can see EGC just knows if they keep putting shots into this smoke, they can keep getting knocks.
Hey, take a look at the health bars there, as we will also take a look at the circle down towards the bottom side. Your Chopsticks finally going to be pushed away from that circle, but still a decent amount of cover on the outsides. The middle, though, very field heavy. We'll see who is going to make that first play.
Yeah, and this really stinks here for Goskilla. You don't want to blow up these vehicles that early, but they have no choice. They need to make static cover because they're basically out of smokes. It would have been nice if they had some smokes to get up on top of the hill so they could have pushed onto AR, but now the circle has gone south like you were talking about. They're no longer in it. Box still in a fight, but now here comes RRQ Athena. There is tons of damage being done. Box is very, very weak. If that grenade is on the mark, that could be some more. Yes, that is going to be one down. Another knock. This is a great push from RRQ Athena. All right, D2E, he does get knocked himself. Senior and Ernie trying to back him up, seeing if they can get the res. And Box, they do finish them off. A great push here by RRQ.
Yeah, D2E a little bit unlucky there with the weapon swap, but you do like to highlight that push. Fantastic timing there from RRQ, but now VIP in a bit of trouble trying to fight them off. Top Esports now actually being knocked a bunch.
What in the world? There are 4 teams here. Queso top, VIP, Red Cannons, all on the southeast part where so many teams were. VIP is in here. Tons of damage being done. They do get the knock onto members. Oh my gosh, everybody is taking everybody down. This is absolute chaos. The Cannons so far are holding out the best.
Yeah, looking pretty good for them as Elementrix trying to make their way now into the mix. Taking out a bunch of the low members. Maxon gonna go down.
Yeah, okay, EX comes through here. They do find themselves, despite losing Junior early, because they found the benefit of being the late party to this massive, massive fight. Ooh, but Ben V has a smoke down. This could be tricky. Does he know that Dragon is in front of him there? Or, excuse me, Dragny, and I don't know. Ben V's just waiting. He's got some heals. He should be maybe doing one more bandage there to see if he can get a little bit more health going, and he hasn't moved. I'm not sure if the members of Elementrix know he's there. The smoke is there, so I assume they suspect something could still be up. You can see they're being very patient about this.
Yeah, very slow, trying to get on top of Ben V here. Not going to let this one go down. They're not going to let any of their members go down when it's 3-on-1. They do also have to deal with TQ and Top Esports over there. Team Queso trying to take down Kisker by himself in the building.
All right, still, okay, finally Ben V is cleared out of there, and we are going to see another circle. It goes way up north, so Gonzo has found his way somehow into the middle of this circle in all of this chaos for Goskilla, the last surviving member for them. And right next to that, so it's going to give away his position a bit. Queso's going to do some running and gunning, as they're going to try to find a way up and into this circle early, which is, again, another field finish here, Valdez. And, oh, yep, there's Top Esports down. So maybe your favorite coming into this one goes down very early in 10th place.
10th place is going to be way earlier than we expected for Top Esports. But Team Queso, look at the guts on them, just making a mad dash into the middle of the field. They find one rock. They have a couple of vehicles. If they can set up a little box there, they're going to be A-okay to move into the final rounds.
All right, C9, 4 strong, unique up on the side there. Zute going to have to push through, got that micro Uzi. There's 4 in this building. The circle making its way towards them. They have a little bit of time, but it's going to be a fight between them and the Russian team, Team Unique. As the Unique have, Kitsune is going to get knocked here by Uneven. Uneven's coming through that circle once again right behind them. Old Boy does just opt to go for the res. Some grenades coming up and over. Seeing if they can find some more damage in there. And there is going to be Pyrrha getting taken down here by Rogue. So he gets flushed out, and C9 is looking a little out of sorts now, but now they've got Unique dead to rights. 3 are stuck behind this corner. There is only 1 member left. Yasha has pushed out far ahead, but a grenade or something. Yes, indeed, a grenade from Yasha. Can Yasha do this? Yes, indeed. It looks like Yasha is going to pick himself up some big kills and keep Unique's hopes alive.
That is just unbelievable, especially because he kept one of his allies alive with him. It looked like there towards the end. Might have died as he was knocked, but an incredible play going over to the side of Team Unique.
Man, this is awesome. We get to see these prone players with these DPs just outdoing everybody. In the back end, Queso is going down, so that's a bit disappointing for them. They still had 4 strong, looking like they were going to try to take an aggressive early center circle, but sometimes that doesn't pay off in these field circles. It's really hard because a bunch of teams come up behind you and just kind of, there isn't a lot of cover to work with. Fox from EVOS is in the smoke with 4 members of EGC who have fanned out along the western edge.
We weren't sure exactly what to expect from this Korean squad EGC, but they have shown a very strategic, fun style here. I did curse one of them as Foxy is going to take out that first knock here in the middle.
Yeah, and then Foxy goes down himself. Now we're finding another, oh my goodness, we're going over to these. This has been back and forth, back and forth. Anybody who seems to go center circle is not faring very well for it. Foxy's trying to crawl away, seeing if he can get anything going because EGC is opting to go for the revive. Ooh, a grenade right in the front of this. Almost gets B-side there. And you can see back behind them, there is 1 member left. That Lovin there from the football team.
Take a look here at RRQ. We haven't seen them too much after their earlier success. Looks like they're 3 strong as EGC kind of a questionable decision not to shoot him on his way out, as Foxy was going for getting rezzed here. He is now by Hizra, and they're in the smoke, so Evo's not out of this one just yet. Great position in the circle.
How is Gonzo still doing this? Like, people have to know he's there. That buggy is a clear dead giveaway that somebody is sitting in that spot, but nobody's been able to push through. Again, field circles make it hard to move forward. Evos, Foxy, you're right. They didn't punish this. They are potentially going to get the revive here if there aren't any more grenades. Bear does have that AWM available with that ghillie suit, so he's going to be even harder to spot. As, yep, well, there's that revive. Idra is able to come back and get his teammate back. So I think that is a bit of a misplay here by EGC. Definitely should have been able to finish and capitalize on that. You can see Lovazin is in the back once again. All right, here we go, RRQ. It is going to be G9 finding B-side. So now EGC might be paying a little bit. They tried to flank out wide, and it's going to be RRQ who's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, EGC definitely an interesting kind of set of plays, and RRQ taking advantage of that right now, and even Ghost Skill. Gonzo is just racking up the kills for his team in the middle, as you did mention him. Finally, Yasha looks like is going to be taken out nearly. Does get knocked there by Ernie on this side of the map.
Yeah, Ernie will be finishing him off, and Unique Yasha with a nice job keeping his team alive, getting a 6th place finish, eking out as many points as he can. Finally, Lovazin is found out there, so Footballist, they are going to be taken down. And Ernie's just spraying through whatever. He knows there's quite a few players still alive in this lobby, so there's going to be a lot of snakes in the grass. No reason not to see if he can find anything for his team. Bear has some bandages left, but he is just opting to stand still, because if you do the bandage animation, you might get spotted out as you're moving around.
Yeah, he's the only one left available for EGC as well, so he can't really afford to get spotted out here. He's just going to play it extremely passively. Try to get, 4th or 3rd place in this one, not necessarily going for the kills. So we'll see what he can do. Finally going to use that bandage here.
There he goes. Yeah, now he feels safe enough to try to pull it off, and probably should be okay. Ernie's crawling up and forward. So this one's going to be a bit slow now, because we're waiting for the circle to close, and then all these players trying to just find any kind of bush or tall grass to put themselves down in. See, Bear is now crawling forward. He's got Gonzo up there. Is Gonzo going to continue to just defend the center position circle very, very well? Fox takes a bit of damage. I think Bear might have found him out. Yes, indeed. Bear with a really nice shot with that AWM. He can't get that last shot to go, and he doesn't quite finish that kill onto Foxy. So that's it was a really nice shot to begin with, but now Bear's going to get taken down by Gonzo.
He does end up getting Fox in the end, but that was damn close. Really had a hard time finishing him off there, so makes it a lot harder here for Evos, who only has Hezra all alone on the west side of this circle.
All right, there is Poople Man crawling through, surviving for Elementrix. Gonzo is a one-man wrecking crew. Finally, because he has to stand up to pick up that kill, gets found out by Ernie. Ernie's going to pick up one more. Can he get another? Poople Man stands up. Poople Man gets right back down, knowing full well that cannot go well. Ernie goes down, and that is a big, big win for Elementrix.
Yeah, you take a look. They did not have that many kills, but the way they played it out, got to really hand it to them. We weren't talking about them too much, but just waited for the exact right moments to pop up and punish RRQ, punish EGC, and all these other teams that were left available. So props to them. Didn't get a lot of kills, but they will be up there on the rankings.
Yeah, I think regardless for RRQ, a nice round. 2nd place, 8 kills, exactly probably how they wanted to start this one out. Again, it was disappointing for them at the fall split, Jason, so this is a nice little turnaround for them.
I mean, okay, let's talk about this really quickly. Elementrix finished 14th in the South Asia Regional Finals when it came to playing. Actually, they didn't even make it through, if I'm not mistaken, over to the actual main part of it. But either way, they got no chicken dinners, and they're able to get one here today. I don't know what the hell they've changed within their roster, what the hell they've changed within their gameplay, but they've been able to do it. RRQ Athena, you talked about them a little bit. They weren't able to get any chicken dinners either when it came to the global finals. And they came so close to doing it just here right now. But go Skilla, I mean Gonzo. How does a man like him stay alive for so long in the center of the circle with a buggy right next to him? I'm at a loss of words of how that can happen.
I'm really surprised. Nobody just would think to, let's just throw a random grenade at him, see what happens. Maybe we'll get lucky. You have to think somebody's there. One way or another, that buggy is just a dead giveaway, but nobody would. I think the bigger problem was that when you're in these field circles, you have to get prone pretty fast. So, yeah, you know he's there, but the angles aren't great. It's a pretty far distance. There is some undulation in the hills in the field, so you might not have the best of angles at him, and he might be the furthest person away from you. You're more worried about what's going on the sides.
Absolutely. Definitely exactly right. As we are going to take a look at some of the flashbacks here from round one. Anything that you personally enjoy, Jason?
Well, obviously the start with the car kill. I love seeing GSK roll up here, go Skillet to try to force this fight, and then get completely punished for it. I find that's kind of funny. Obviously, history favors the bold, right? But that did not work out for them whatsoever. I think the best moment for me, though, the highlight of that match was Foxy and his great escape. Because he had 4 members of EGC around him, sitting inside of a smoke. He downs one, they down him, but then what does he do? He doesn't sit in the smoke, he actually moves into another smoke, and they don't see him do that. He actually somehow threads the needle in the timing and gets through. It gets into that smoke. They even nade the first smoke trying to take him down, and then he passes over to his teammate through the open field and gets away with it. Eventually they did die, but it was so funny to see him be able to escape that kind of situation.
That's probably one of the craziest escapes I've ever seen. I thought the guy was dead to rights. I kind of wrote him off. I was just like, well, he's dead. That's it. He's done. Good job, good job by our Korean team. But then they didn't capitalize on it. Like you said, they missed the grenade. They weren't able to finish it, and therefore it became a little more challenging for them. They tried to flank out. They get caught by RRQ. And, yeah, they had, I think, 8 kills, I believe, for 10 kills. 10 kill points there for EGC. So not a bad round at all. Definitely, a respectable start.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty even there at the